Are we getting a good signal? Game design documents are the foundation of your game. It's going to help you finish your game and not overscope it. Welcome back to the SpaceWheel channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the journey. When it comes to game design documents, I'll spend at least a month just typing up one before I even touch my engine. And that may seem like overkill, but I think spending a little extra time at the beginning planning out your game is what's going to help you push through the process of creating it. So I'd like to share with you an example of a game design document that I found years ago from a game called PID. I've referred to this document a lot over the years because I think it's the perfect, well-designed, medium-sized document. And one thing that jumped out at me when looking through this documentation was that if you take away the artwork, you're left with pretty basic descriptions. For example, if you go down to the music section, it'll just give you this short paragraph of what they're looking for. And that's really all you need. And even in the illustrations section, it's kind of the same, where it just has this basic paragraph that gives a decent description of the type of artwork that they're looking for. So if they decide to look outward and hire somebody, they can give that short description to somebody and say, this is what we're looking for. And that's way better than trying to remember everything in your mind when talking to a contractor. And then we can look over their table of contents, which I understand they have a lot of sections and it can be very overwhelming, but a game design document's not made overnight. Usually when I start my own, I'll start with the sections that are very familiar in my head, and usually those sections will become the main pillars that everything else shapes into. And every game design document that you make, the table of contents are going to be drastically different. This is the place that you're going to organize all your thoughts and be able to remember every part of your game. Now you can easily search for AAA design documents like Diablo, Doom. I think GTA might be even available out there, but I just feel like it's kind of pointless because most of us are solo devs or small teams, and if you're looking to make a document that's 500 pages, that's going to take you a long time. And at that point, just write a book. And I'll leave a link to the PID game design document in the description below in case you want to take a look at that. If you're liking this video so far, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the journey. If you don't, I'm going to die. Now let's talk about a one-page game design document. Now some developers swear by this method, but I think this shouldn't be the only document that you're doing. This is like a glorified elevator pitch if the building was 2,000 stories and you had a little time to talk to somebody. It almost feels like you're rushing to get into development, and one-page documents definitely have their place. Like, you should definitely make one, but it shouldn't be where you stop. It's mostly going to help during marketing and giving out a brief description of your game. You know, for example, if you're working with somebody, you can always just refer back to this one-page document to be like, this is my game, this is what it's about, and would you like to work on this part of it? But it could be very beneficial to write out a few one-page documents and then pick out your best idea and then just elaborate on that with a longer document. And a well-thought-out game design document will keep your project on track. Whenever you start creating milestones for your game, you're going to have to pull those milestones from somewhere. And if you have a document to refer to, then you could say, well, I want A, B, C done by this time. Well, what is A, B, and C? Just go to your document, find the most high priority things that you need to get done, and say, well, I need A, B, and C to get these things done. So now you're assigning tasks and you know what you need to work on. This is going to help keep you focused so you're not adding unnecessary tasks or overscoping your game. Because although a game design document's not set in stone, it should definitely be close when you're getting ready to start creating the game. You definitely don't need to include every single detail to start working on your game. The game I'm currently working on right now has items, and of course I've wrote like a few items, but I'm definitely going to have more, and I didn't write out every single item that's going to be in the game before I started on it. But the mechanics behind buying items in the shop or what they do, those things are in the game design document, so it's just scaling up from there. I can add as many items as I want, and it's not going to affect my progress on making this game. Now I could talk about game design documents forever. It'd probably be a very boring video, but the last point that I want to make to you is do not use templates. Now of course do what you want, but templates to me, they lock you in this box and you'll start thinking along the lines of what you're seeing inside the template. I don't think there's anything wrong with seeing how somebody else makes something, but definitely make it your own. For me, I'm a more story-focused developer, so I usually start with the story of my game. And you might be somebody who's super great at coding and you have this great mechanic in mind. So you write down everything there is about this mechanic and you get it to where it's super solid. That way you have it on paper how you want this mechanic to be. You'll start noticing that whenever you start writing about UI elements or characters or whatever it is, you'll notice that it'll mend together because you'll be thinking about that mechanic. So that mechanic's going to be a very strong pillar of your document. I'll give you a very short example for this, but like Portal, people always talk about that portal mechanic, like the gun, you go through one portal, you go out the other. Okay, they may have started with that in a document and said, we really like this idea, or they might have prototyped it, whatever. And then whenever they're starting to create the story behind that, well, portals are very sci-fi-ish. So it's already helping you out with your environment, and it's kind of leading you into different sections of your document. So everything just feels cohesive. If you don't get anything else from this video, I hope the one thing that you got is game design documents are super beneficial, and don't stop with a one-page document. No game design document's ever going to be the same, and that's why I'm super against templates. But anyway, I hope this video does help you out, and good luck on writing out your games. Take care, guys.